Okay, this is my next project. This is Game from the Gamers series MMP, which is this terrible sound. It's the Battle of Chickamauga 1863. If you are following my Europa Universalis game playthrough, I decided to call that a day and proclaim a Spanish victory, because the Spanish had been in the lead pretty much from the very first term. Basically the reason is I decided I wanted to play a war game. Now I did start messing around with the great battles, the American Civil War system, but in the end I got drawn back to this one, mainly because I really wanted to play this particular battle, Chickamauga, and I'm going to use the latest rule set, the line of battle rule set. Now, game in terms of strategy is you've got the Union had captured the strategic rail and river junction at Chattanooga in Tennessee, and that really put the Union Army of Cumberland into a position where it could directly threaten the heart of the Confederacy, which was something in 1864 and 1865 some would argue led to the ultimate collapse of the Confederate States when Sherman managed to capture Atlanta and then decided to march to the sea. Now this situation is slightly different. This is 1863 and the Confederates still have the strength and the capability to strike back significantly, which they did in this battle. After winning this battle, they went on to lay siege to Chattanooga for quite a while before they were finally driven out for the last time. Now, if you look at the strategic situation, the Union really has the 21st Corps and has the Army of Cumberland and Rosecrans on the board. They're really in a position where they're just moving towards securing the fords to act as an advance guard for the Union main army. Now, little do they know that the Confederacy have massed a significant army behind Chickamauga Creek. There's elements of Heth Corps there, Polk's Corps, you've got Buckner's Corps, Walker's Reserve Corps, and you've got the 1st Corps starting to arrive. Now, what's going to happen here is pretty much the whole Confederate Army is going to just hook round the side of the Union Army, which is going to be caught as it's gradually deploying forward towards the creek. If you look at the game board itself, it's I think it's about 8 feet by 3 feet, which is the biggest game I think in the series. I know Last Chance of Victory, the Gettysburg module is a big one as well. It's a 4-mapper. I'm not sure whether the maps are actually slightly bigger than this. I'm probably mistaken. It's a long time since I've messed around with that. If we look at the red cubes, they represent the Confederate Corps HQs on the board. So you can effectively see they've got nearly 5 corps on the board against the Union's 1 corps at this particular stage. If you look at the little green counters here, they just represent the victory point X's on the board. So you basically win this game by capturing victory point locations and also by inflicting casualties on your opponents. Now, I'm not going to use the standard regimental rule set for this. I'm going to use the line of battle rule set, which is the modern one. You've got to make a few tweaks to use it on the old modules, but it's a much faster and cleaner game for playing, because this is a big game. This is 160 turns or something, which is going to take a long time to play out. Other things are the blue cubes represent the Union Corps and the army over there. Although this was a fairly significant Confederate victory, the Confederates had a lot of problems in this particular battle because the army commander Bragg was pretty useless. He never led an army again, and the several of the corps commanders were pretty much, they weren't going to obey his orders. They were just going to do their own thing, basically. You also had Rosecrans, even pronouncing that correctly, he never commanded an army again after this debacle, so he didn't do particularly well. Right, that's it. Other things on the board, these little white things, they're the orders, the current orders that these units are under, because this particular system uses a written orders thing and like a dispatch and delivery mechanism that replicates the chaos that often occurred on Civil War battles. It was very difficult to get units to actually do what they were supposed to do, a thing that played both sides. That's it. Let's see how it turns out.